Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Embracing Joy podcast. I'm so excited for our special topic today, which is reclaiming your life, mindfulness, and confidence in midlife with our special guest, Carolina Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us today, Carolina.
Thank you, Magda.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about Carolina. She's a certified mindfulness and meditation coach, and she guides women in midlife to break free from self doubt and to rebuild self trust and reclaim the clarity and confidence to live life on their own terms. She has a signature program called the Midlife Reclaim, where she helps women reconnect with their needs, values, and inner power after years of putting themselves last. So, wow, it's a beautiful work that you're doing, Carolina.
Yes, I'm trying to, guide women to give themselves permission to reconnect with their inner self. And after so many years that women normally put their needs and feelings last, it's time.
It's time. So, with that being said, we usually do a quick warm up game before we go into more of the questions. It's called convergence. So we're going to count to three, and you say the first word that comes to your mind, like we say it at the same time. And we continue, and then say, for example, I say apple, and you say street. And then we both say at the same time tree, or we try to figure out something that connects the two words, possibly. But it's just a fun game, just to relax and get in the mood, okay? All right.
Sounds fun. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So, first word that comes to mind on one, two, three. Pineapple. Pineapple came to
Bird.
bird. Okay. So, something that connects bird and pineapple. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be anything. Anything. But try to keep it broad. Okay. One, two, three. Tropical.
Tree.
What did you say? Pretty?
Tree.
Tree. Okay. So something that connects tropical and tree. Ready?
Mhm.
One, two, three. Coconut.
Warm.
Okay. Okay. Something that connects warm and coconut. Ready? One, two, three. Beach.
Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
fun. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So beach. Yeah. So that was fun. Made me think very tropical things. So, like you said, so many women. Let's go into our questions. So many women in midlife, they carry years of self-doubt and negative self-talk. What are some simple or practical mindfulness practices that you teach women to help quiet that inner critic and so that they can be more self-trustful?
So I think the it's important to understand intellectually what the inner critic is, just simply as a first step. And it comes with our human psyche, it comes with evolution. And the inner critic is primed for survival, right? To protect us. And it has a negative bias. So it's why it's important because it normally will talk to us in with a negative voice and language. Recognizing this empowers women, us, to understand that what it says and how it talks to us may not be true.
Mhm.
And it confuses familiarity and the known with safety, meaning it would always talked to us in a way to bring us back to what's known, which is not necessarily what is fulfilling or what is where our heart wants to take us. So, mindfulness, so that's intellectually understanding what it is. Mindfulness is the practice of returning our attention to the present moment. And
Mhm.
what I mean by that is using engaging the body, engaging your heart and mind too, to bring back that attention that is normally sitting in thoughts and listening too much to the inner critic, which in fact sometimes we think we are that inner critic that tells us you're not good enough, you should be further away. So when we engage our body and our heart, emotions, feelings, then we are as a unity engaging in what's here right now, not in memories, not in projections in the future. And so mindfulness enables that practice. But important to the mindfulness practice is that we also bring a sense of compassion and self compassion for ourselves. So it's not only bringing our attention back to the present, it's also with this warmth towards ourselves that normally, as women, we extend to everyone else but ourselves. So it's extending that kindness to us. And it's also bringing a sense of no judgment. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever this voice is telling me, it's okay. It's part of being human and I'm doing okay. So
Mhm.
that is, I guess, the first step would be recognizing that inner critic condition and that is negative. The second step would be to question it. Is it true what he's saying to me? Why? On what basis? And recognize, okay, it's negative. I'm just going to bring, and maybe a third step is a bit of self compassion to myself and self kindness. And from a place of love and well being for myself, what is the next step that I can take that actually feels good to me and honors what I'm feeling? And that would be, I guess, a practice.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great practice because a lot of women may not know that the self-critic is not them, right? It's first separating yourself from those thoughts, and then as the first step, and then also thinking of mindfulness and self-compassion as the second and third steps. Yeah, I think that's a great step. So, in midlife, because your particular population are women in their midlife, right? During that stage, there's a lot of changes in career and relationship, hormones, identity that can feel very overwhelming. How does mindfulness or meditation help women thrive during this period rather than just cope with these transitions that they're facing?
Yes, it's such an important question, and we all go through this. And I, firstly, part of that mindfulness, I guess, is I like to say to the women I work with that to give themselves permission to feel it all. And because sometimes we try to push it away and we feel guilty for feeling inadequate or having these emotions because we may have it all in life and we question why I shouldn't be feeling this way because I'm healthy and I have my family. And but it's okay to recognize all of this. Sometimes when we recognize that it's hard, that it
Mhm.
feels really uncomfortable and confusing, that even that recognition shifts something. Like it's just that resistance to feeling what we're feeling sort of give us a feeling of or of relief. And I guess is also worth understanding that as women, and I'm going to talk about women because that's my audience and my
Mhm.
expertise, where my expertise sits, but we have spent decades of self abandoning ourselves since we're young. we understand very quickly and we learn very quickly that being agreeable, being easy, it's it makes our parents happy, it makes our teachers happy, and socially at work. And we try then to sort of put our needs and our feelings away to make sure that everyone around us is looked after, is comfortable. And somehow this is goes over years, and we really put our needs and our feelings bottom of the list, and we're always giving, we're always there for everyone else but ourselves. And then this gets really embedded in our psyche, in who we are. And by midlife, and you will know a lot better than me being a doctor, is hormones and things start not not working as they used to, right? And this happens chemically, biologically, and that blueprint that we've followed through our life is just not working anymore. And that's why all of this happens. So it's also empowering to know that it's not them, like it's happening to them. Really, there's real changes in the way the brain works, in their biology. And then understanding one practices that they can start using, I guess, is recognizing when they say yes too quickly, for example. And I think everyone who is a woman in midlife could recognize themselves saying yes to things when all they wanted to say was no, to baking cupcakes for the kids' school and when they're exhausted and they don't have time, or to hosting the family dinner, or to all these micro yeses that they say at work. Yes, give me extra work, when they just can't cope with what they have. So is again, mindfulness allows to pause when this request comes and check in with themselves. Is this really what I need right now? Is it, can I do this? And then give themselves permission to start practicing. And 1% every day is fine. To start saying, can I check with you? Can I come back with you to you tomorrow? Can I go and check my diary and my schedule? And it feels really uncomfortable. It feels because we're not used to. But again, just practicing with little steps every day, little no's. And then when they say, oh, actually, no, I have a really busy schedule this week and I cannot finish this report for you this week, but maybe next week, then celebrate that no, right? And slowly, that's how you build self trust, because you show up for yourself, you honor your needs and your feelings, and slowly you start then having your own back, and you start then having developed that trust that you have some, in some people around you, but for yourself. Is this making sense?
Definitely. So, with developing that self trust and beginning to say no and prioritize yourself and prioritize the what's important to you, some women, especially if you said no for so long, I mean, said yes for so long, you it may feel an overwhelming sense of guilt when you do start to say no to others. But to remember, a no to other, well, yes to someone else is a no to yourself in a lot of ways. So definitely prioritize learning to prioritize yourself with the simple gestures in the beginning, saying, oh, can I get back with you? Like Carolina was saying, those are great techniques. And I'm glad that you shared those with us. With that being said, these a lot of women, like you said, spend decades putting everyone else first and not and instead of putting themselves first. What is one step that they can make to find that journey back to herself, or to get back to herself so that she can learn to put herself first?
Well, that practice that I mentioned before, just saying yes to themselves. I like how you reframe it, because saying no to others is actually saying yes to yourself. So that's quite powerful. And I guess another practice is consciously and intentionally reframing that negative inner critic or voice that they're gonna hear in their minds, is to also not only question it, which is what we spoke in the beginning, but also saying, okay, imagine if you talk to the person you love, to a friend, to your parent, or your children, in the way that your inner critic talks to yourself. So it's noticing that, recognizing how that voice talks, and then reframe it like, how what would you say to your friend who you love so much if she was or he was saying to you what how they feel and how that voice talks to you? So for example, if your voice is saying, oh, you shouldn't be resting now, you have to, get out of the couch and go and finish that report, you should be doing this and that and cooking for the kids. And then what happens is, if your friend, right, saying that, oh my god, I feel guilty because I should be doing this and that, then you talk to yourself as if you were talking to your friend. Look, you're
Mhm.
tired, you've done so much today, it's okay for you to rest, you need to recover, the meals can wait, you can order takeaway. So again, it's about extending that self-compassion to themselves, again, slowly, because it feels uncomfortable, because we're used to being that support for everyone else but ourselves. So just slowly, just practice one day. Yes, you listen to the inner voice that is telling you get out of the couch and don't rest, and say, no, I need it, I'm gonna do this just a little bit for me. And you slowly again build that self trust and that self compassion.
Thank you. I think the self trust and self compassion are so important for our overall health and, of course, our mental health. And it helps with also developing confidence, which is what you help the women that you work with as well. So, let's get to our wrap up questions now. And who would you say is a model for joy in your life and why?
Well, my mom, who passed, but she was a model for joy, like so joyful. Yes, always.
Mhm.
And I guess one of the qualities is because she was present. So, yeah, she embraced life to the fullest.
I love that. So, and my condolences for your mom, but I love that she was a model for you. And so, what are the top three ingredients if you were building a metaphorical, well, cooking a metaphorical cake of joy?
It would be, I guess, that compassion
Hmm.
extended to ourselves, and presence, as in being with the moment as it is,
Hmm.
engage with your senses and your heart, and maybe a sense of curiosity.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good
would
one
be
too.
a cake of joy.
I love it. So this has been such a great conversation. If there's someone in the audience that wanted to learn more about you or your services, how can they find you or learn more about you?
Well, hopefully easy, but my website and my handles in social media, Facebook and Instagram, are Carolina Gonzalez Mindfulness, and they can
Okay,
reach out.
thank you. Thank you so much, Carolina. It's been such a pleasure. So that's a wrap for today, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this joy of an episode with someone who needs it. And hey, remember, joy is contagious. So go ahead and pass it along. Take care.